Hey guys, it's Brendan the Paleo Dude, and welcome back to another Jurassic World unboxing video. Today we'll be looking at the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution lineup. Now, it's been a while since I've done a really big unboxing video like this because Canada has been facing a lot of inflation when it comes to prices, especially on non-perishable goods. So besides that, we also have way higher taxes. A lot of the Jurassic World figures are now around $20 for these basic ones and like $40 for the bigger ones, which is absolutely nuts. But luckily, I spotted these guys on sale. I think they're like 25% off-ish. So I got these guys for around $30, the price they should be at, and these guys for around $12, again, the price they should be at. So I thought that was pretty neat. I jumped on it immediately because I never see sales up here in Canada, unlike in the States where they have sales all the time at like Target and Walmart and whatnot. You guys are so lucky. But I jumped on that, and obviously now I can finally do a large-scale video. A lot of my funds now have been going towards research, unfortunately, so I had to pause the collecting for a little bit. But now I paid off a lot of my my research in school. I can get back onto the collecting grind. I was not able to find the Chasmosaurus yet, so I got two of these guys instead. The updated Monolophosaurus. This is the third time it's been updated, and also finally they fixed the problem that all the fans were complaining about: the orange frill on the Dilophosaurus that we got in the Hammond or the Legacy collection. It's now green and it looks way better. Holy cow, is it beautiful. They even changed the color of the skin slightly to be less puce yellowy green. It's now a nice kind of woody green, which is pretty neat. Forest green, rather. But yeah, beautiful depictions on the back. And Gastonia, surprisingly, we originally had Sorpelta, and then I did not pick up the Borealopelta, unfortunately, so I gotta track that one down, but it's very nice to finally see Gastonia made. Same with Mapusaurus, but Bajadasaurus, I think that's how you pronounce it. That one's a warm welcome, and I love the action feature. We'll get into that in a bit. We'll start with the Monolophosaurus. I think it's Bajadasaurus, yeah. So the Monolophosaurus has this fish-like tail. You can see it's got these feathers or quills running down the back. Both top and bottom of the tail have it, which is super neat. It reminds me of the Deinonychus figure from the Chaos Effect lineup. I think that was 1998 that came out. So that's really neat. It even has the little hair going down the neck, which is an incredible detail. They did not have to go that far. It even has a little tuft of chin hair. I know that's like feathers, but it very much looks like hair, which I really love. It's very aesthetic. Even has a little mane going down the neck area. And the crest has been updated. So the first ever time we saw Monolophosaurus was in the 2018 Jurassic World, what was it? That one, the Fallen Kingdom, yeah. So Mattel released it in this nice green color. It was battle damage, beautiful paint on the tail, and very balanced look, long tail. And the crest on the snout was kind of like an oval shape. It's very basic. Then later on, Camp Cretaceous would eventually retool the head completely. Remodeling it, so the crest has a little spike sticking out the back, and it's more of a rectangle shape, very knife-like in appearance, and they gave it way larger teeth. And now we have the latest iteration, where it has more of a hooked back looking crest with kind of like a knife-like appearance, very sharp looking. But it's way larger, more pronounced. They added some color, and the head shape is completely changed. They gave it some ridges along the top of the head that are more pronounced, and the eye is way larger, more prominent, and of course they added all that hair going down the body. Even on the arms, too, it's like Indominus Rex, Indoraptor vibes. So that's really neat. But my favorite part of this figure, besides all the little feathers going down its body, is the action feature. When you press down on the hips, it actually opens its mouth. Now, surprised they put such a fluid action feature into a smaller figure, to have all the mechanics in there work like that is pretty neat. They did this with the larger assortment in Fallen Kingdom, where you'd press on the back hips and the action feature would happen, but that was a larger electronic lineup. So it's really neat that they've implemented this into the smaller wave, because holy cow, is this so much fun. You can make them squawk or snap at other dinosaurs, and that is why I got 2 of it. It's got kind of like a gray blue color, which reminds me of the 2019 battle damage version of the Monolophosaurus. Kind of feels like a throwback. Even the quills themselves have that color. I'll have to do a comparison video of all of the Monolophosaurus Mattel has released to kind of give you guys a better idea. Forgot to grab it for this video. Might as well show you guys the scan code really quick. So pause the video if you need that. So these little guys, really cool. You can have them in tandem, yapping and chomping around. Next, we'll do Gastonia. Very excited for this one. The action feature is super fun. You press on the 2 spikes on the side, and the tail goes back and forth. So you can see there, 2 arrows pointing at that, and the tail slashing around. I like the packaging. It's got the desert road there, which in the Chaos Theory Netflix show, they're often on the road in the desert, so it's a good setting. Let's push the limbs down and see how well this guy stands. The neck is also positioned lower than the body, which is really neat. It's like in an attack position. You can rotate the head, but that's pretty much it. There's no other posability. The details on the head are insane. The beak's the same color as the underbelly, but it looks very finished like that, actually, because the white overlaps it and makes it feel like it's a different color. The eye is surrounded by a darker color as well, which really highlights it with that yellow. And then the spikes feel very natural colored, with the different shades of white, lighter white on the top, kind of more of a bluey white for the rest of the body, and then these like darker colored spikes on the side. This stands out though. The scan code is super bright white in comparison to the rest of the spikes on the top, so it very much stands out, but that's no biggie. Also, the tail has paint on it, and I really like the kind of scattered look of the spikes on the tail, how they're different sizes and not uniform. And yeah, that guy could pack quite a punch to a large theropod. If you tried stepping on him or walking too close to him, could definitely take out a leg for sure. But yeah, very cool. Gastonia is neat, but now we just need a Acrocanthosaurus to go with it, maybe in the next lineup. It seems like Mattel's really been sleeping on that, as it's a popular species, but since they got around to Mapusaurus, they have to have Acrocanthosaurus around the corner. Oh, great. They got like extra beefy security lock on there. I have to pull out my big scissors. I don't know why they have to do this. So unnecessary. There. Hopefully no damage to the figure, and a little bit to the leg. Oh well. I was planning on getting another one anyways. I'll do a safer unboxing. So the arms are posable, like always, and the legs too. You can even splay them out because they're not part of the action feature like the Monolophosaurus. And instead of pressing down on the hips, which I really would have loved if they updated the action feature to just have it that easy, you have to pull up on the tail, not down, up, which is kind of difficult. But once you get the hang of it, it's, I don't know, it kind of strains your fingers a bit. But yeah, it looks way better, again, with the green frill instead of an orange plastic. Holy cow, the difference is night and day. That is so nice. And they changed the color to be more accurate too. I don't know if you can kind of see it. This is like a darker shade of green, but it's more yellow. This is less yellow. You can't really see it on camera that well, but this is nicer green to look at than this. They kind of look the same on camera, but trust me, if you have both these figures, you'd be able to see in person. Definitely pick this one up if you want to replace that gross orange on there, because man, that's so nice. Okay, now let's get to the big boys. Mapusaurus. Hopefully the legs aren't fitted. The feet aren't fitted. Oh, wow, they're not. Oh, my goodness. They do not care about their security on this one at all. The package itself shows you can chomp, and also, I'll raise the camera up a bit. You can chomp its jaws up and down, but also there is spikes evolved for battle. Ooh. And it has a rampage attack, they say. So, let's see. You couldn't do the spike feature on the back. I think there's a button for it on the tail. So the spikes stick out. Kind of reminds me of like Godzilla in a way. I don't know. They're pretty big spikes too. Obviously Mapusaurus doesn't have spines like that. That's just something they added, but it's a neat feature. I mean, the dinosaur itself looks very kaiju-esque. Kind of reminds me of the Vastasaurus from King Kong, the Peter Jackson one. I think that was 2007 or something. But yeah, it very much has that like dark skin color with the very big bumps on the head and the big scales along the body. Very monster-esque. And of course, the spikes really add to it. I'm sure the people designing this at Mattel had a field day, because, I mean, it's such a fun figure. Those spikes are really neat. But the action feature is super fluid, too. You just kind of rotate these two balls right here. You can do both sides instead of just one. I think they had to put it like this so that it wouldn't interfere with the spikes. So instead of one, you got two on both sides. But it's very fluid. I think the teeth themselves are a separate piece. Yeah, they're just rubber. So they're not painted on. Those will not chip or get scuffed if you're making it bite other things. And the tongue has a very neat texture, I just noticed. It's very bumpy. So that's pretty neat. And I love the orange eye. The arms are very rubbery. They're very bendy. You can flop them around. But they also have that ball joint. They're like extremely rubbery. I've never seen, maybe like, they give the same vibes as the Suko from the 2018 lineup. They even painted the claws. They didn't have to, because the dinosaur is already a dark color, and usually Mattel doesn't paint a dinosaur with dark skin already, because they just say, oh well, just one less thing to paint on the figure. But it's very nice that they added that paint detail. I don't know, it makes it look more finished, plus the tail has paint on it. So I mean, like, they pulled out all the stops for this figure. Very nice. Mapusaurus is related directly to Giganotosaurus. You can kind of see it in that figure, but it doesn't look much like the actual Mattel Giganotosaurus. We'll get the Bajadasaurus out now. What's it say on the back? It flops its neck around and swats its tail. Okay. Get rid of Bumblebee. Put all these guys in the back. Yeah, I'm kind of sad I didn't find the Ceratops in the Chasmosaurus or Chasmoceratops or whatever it's called. Yeah, so it's got one wheel, and when you rotate it down, those spikes kind of move, or I guess stay in place, but they spread out. That's an insane action feature. The fact that they figured out how to do that is crazy. And this is probably one of the most dynamic figures Mattel has ever released, with that action feature. Having all of those moving spikes on the neck is nuts. Obviously, the animal wouldn't be able to like move those individually, but when the neck does go down, the vertebra would bend like that. Obviously, the neck is plastic, so it can't bend, but the spikes themselves can move. So I think that's what it's representing, is the animal, when it bends its neck down and like curves it like that, right? The spikes stick out more and space out. So they did a good job representing that action, which without having the neck itself bend. I think that's insane that they were able to do that. And really cool, unique feature for a very unique dinosaur. The color is interesting. It's red. It's kind of like a darker red with like, I don't know, peach color on the underbelly, but the legs stand out because they're a bit more pink. Like, I don't know how to describe it. They could have had them a bit more matching to the color of the skin, but you can see there's a transition here where it's lightly brushed on, and then I don't know if that's another layer of plastic and or just extra paint, but it kind of more matches the legs, so it doesn't stand out too much, but it still stands out enough that it's kind of bothersome. And the tail is, you know, kind of short, but yeah, it's got a lot of force to it. You can really slap another dinosaur with that. I don't know if this guy can stand up. I think he'll be hit by it. Yeah. So I think that's pretty neat. And of course the spikes on the back are rubbery. These spikes are harder plastic, and the head is pretty loose, but it kind of rotates forward with that. And it's around the same size as the Amargasaurus, and they fit kind of well together, actually. They got very similar head shapes, where their cheeks stick out a lot, and they have a little beak. I think that's pretty neat. So I'll grab the scan code for this guy too real quick. I think I missed it on a few of them. So there's the scan code for the Bajadasaurus. There you go. And the Gastonia, I think, yeah, I already gave you guys the Gastonia. The Dilophosaurus has this flap that goes up on the back. So you just tear its back open and reveal that. Kind of sad that they didn't put ribs under there. Kind of missed opportunity, but it would have been funny. And then the tail on here for the Mapusaurus. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and review. These figures are very fun. I'll have to do a comparison of the Monolophosaurus in a later video, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video then. Bye-bye.